All right, we've talked about the paradox of poverty, that frustrating disconnect. But when you break down a complex problem, sometimes the simplest way to truly understand it is to give it a language, a framework, a formula. This is it. This is our Benevolence Balancing Act. You're probably looking at this and thinking, what is this? Advanced calculus for kindness. And yes, it looks mathematical, but it's really about structure. It's about bringing clarity to compassion. Let's break down the first half, the one on the left. Negative p, open parenthesis, e sub v, close parenthesis, exponent L. Negative p, this represents someone with negative poverty. These are the people, the businesses, the groups who have a surplus. They are not in a state of deficit in a particular area. They have something to give. They represent the untapped potential in our communities. E sub v, or element, with velocity. Inside the parenthesis, we have our what. First, E, or the element of poverty. This refers to one of our 5 elements of poverty: safety, shelter, food, clothing, employment, or purpose. This specifies what they have a surplus of. Is it a surplus of food from a restaurant? Extra warm coats? Maybe a homeless shelter with open beds. Then V, or velocity of surplus. This is the crucial context behind that surplus. It's the story behind what they have to offer. Is there an expiration date on that food? Does that surplus clothing need to be dropped off by a certain time? What's the best way to get this resource into the hands of a lighthouse? This velocity helps ensure the resource is matched efficiently and effectively. Finally, we have the exponent L, representing location. That L as an exponent is purely symbolic here. It doesn't mean mathematical exponentiation. It simply represents the local context, specifically the zip code. This tells us where that surplus exists. It's critical because resources are most effectively deployed when they're local. So this first part, negative p, open parenthesis, e sub v, close parenthesis, exponent L represents who has what specific surplus, with what context, and where they have it. Now let's look at the other side of the equation. Positive p, open parenthesis, e sub v, close parenthesis, exponent L, plus p or positive p. This represents someone with positive poverty. These are the individuals, the families, who are currently in a state of need or deficit. They lack one or more of our 5 elements. E sub v, or element, with velocity. Again, inside the parenthesis, we have the what of their need. E, or element of poverty. This is what they are lacking. Again, focused on one of the 5 elements of poverty: safety, shelter, food, clothing, or employment, or purpose. Are they in need of a few meals to make it to their next paycheck, or are they in need of more affordable housing? V, or velocity of need. This is the critical context for their need. It's their story, the past factors leading to the need, their current urgent situation, and their future aspirations. This helps us prioritize and offer the right kind of help. Exponent L. Just like on the other side, this L symbolically represents the local context, their zip code. It's where that specific need exists. So the full equation, negative p, open parenthesis, e sub v, close parenthesis, exponent L plus positive p, open parenthesis, e sub v, close parenthesis, exponent L, now comes into focus. It means we are taking someone with a specific surplus, in a specific context, at a specific location, and connecting them with someone who has a specific need of their surplus, with a specific context, somewhere in that same zip code. And what does the arrow 0 mean? It's our aspiration. It represents approaching 0. Not just 0 poverty, that's a monumental challenge. But approaching 0 inefficiency, 0 mistrust, and 0 unmet needs in that specific identified instance. It's about ensuring that when a precise need meets a precise resource, the friction, the waste, and the confusion between them dissolve. It seems like having this kind of clear, symbolic language for understanding both sides of the Benevolence Balancing Act might be the way to finally bridge that gap, wouldn't it? It's how we move from a paradox to a solution. So what ways do you find to bridge the gaps and engage with the Benevolence Balancing Act in your communities and neighborhoods? Leave a comment below and let us know.